101.1 Smart FM, the spirit of Indonesia. Welcome back to our discussion, and this is our second section. And we have newcomer here. Maybe you can introduce yourself to the smart listener.
Okay, smart listener. My name is Ahmad Daryandi. You can call me Rian. I finished my study in University of Satria Makassar.
Okay, so we were talking about distracted work. Do you know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you define distracted work on your own?
In my own, distracted work is the thing that we are we forget about our life. We always always do our work in our daily life.
Oh, okay. So what is the most distracting thing when you do your job?
The most distracted is when you are have a appointment with your friend, and in the other side we have to do my works. We have to do our work in time.
Okay, so it's about appointment.
Yes.
So how do you face it? Like, you already consider that an appointment with your friend, hang out with your friend, is the most distracting thing that can affect your work. So how do you face it? How do you solve it?
Maybe I can say, I just say sorry with my friend because I have my duty to do.
Okay.
And we will meet again in next time.
Yeah. So the point is, we have to learn about refusing things. Like, we cannot being a people pleaser every day, because sometimes we have an obligation to finish. Okay. So what about Malia? How do you face your problem? I mean, the issue that can distract you in your work.
As I mentioned before, I easily get distracted by social media and noises. So the ways of me to solve those are to turn on do not disturb mode on my phone. Yeah, so that I can get any notifications from my social media. And I also like to use like headphones or earphone to avoid a lot of noises. So
like listening to music while working?
No, just put on my headphones or my earphones to avoid the noises. Yeah.
So what about social media? I mean, how do you solve it? Because you already know that social media is the most distracting stuff when you are working or something.
To turn on my.
Oh yeah, I mean noisy. I mean.
Just put on my headphones.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Without listening to any music, just put on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. So I move to Kanahwi.
Sure.
Okay, Kanahwi. So we talk about social media, which is the most. I mean, we cannot separate social media to the Gen Z life. I mean, there are majority of the Gen Z will say that. So do you think it's possible to live without cell phone in a day? And how we can do that?
Yes, we all know that in the status quo, the vast majority of teenagers, especially the Gen Z itself, is using the mobile phone itself, the smartphone, especially the social media itself. Talking about whether or not this Gen Z or teenager cannot like separate themselves without a smartphone even a day. I think that is something that impossible. I mean, impossible, but it depends on how we manage our time, back on my previous statement. But Probably I got like some suggestions to that. Probably because of most of the time we are facing or we are using the smartphone itself. Why don't you guys to use your mobile phone in into the productive way? For example, like you watch something in YouTube that educate yourself, still entertaining, but still give you like sort of educations. For example, you watch some podcast and etc. Or scrolling TikTok, but don't forget to follow something that beneficial. For example, like something that entertaining, but still give you like sort of information and still education. Or probably in Instagram, you may follow job vacancies account and etc. So I think it's very complicated if we want to separate these teenagers towards the social media itself, because I think, in my opinion, having mobile phone in today's era, it's like our primary needs.
Exactly.
We cannot separate ourselves to the social media itself. Like you can see in today's era, we have like online learning that used by most of the students in the school, or most of communications using through WhatsApp or Instagram and etc. So it's very complicated for us to separate the Gen Z itself with social media itself. So one way to, at very least, to make our usage of social media it's still beneficial for us, is that we should keep using smartphone in positive way. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a nice suggestion. And I'll move to Achang, but before we continue our discussion, we have commercial break and we'll be back after the break section.